On this episode of Big Booty Mouth Off, well, the summer's over, so we're going for a walk.
A long one.
Oh. Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm Jimmy Martin, your host.
Jeff Counts, your co-host.
There you go. All right, so on this episode of Big Movie Mouth Off, the summer's over, so we're going to review our top 2 favorite movies between us, top 2 worst movies between us, and then we're also going to talk about video on demand because Xfinity is our sponsor. But first, we're going to start it off. Well, Robert Redford decided to go for a walk in the woods, and that's what we're going to review. So basically, the story is he plays real-life travel agent Bill Bryson.
Travel writer, you mean?
What did I say?
Travel agent.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing as travel agents anymore.
He plays the internet.
So, he's a writer. Been doing it for years. You know, he's kind of wind down. He's living with his wife. And, well, all of a sudden he gets a bug. And he's like, I want to go walk the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
And his wife is like, you're out of your mind. Every friend that he's got says you're out of your mind. And then all of a sudden, well, he gets a phone call from an old friend named Stephen Katz who says, hey, I want to go on that trip with you. Because it's played by Nick Nolte.
Not Macho Man.
So there you go. So and that's kind of the story. I mean, like it's not a lot of plot.
It's really, a buddy flick.
It's an odd couple that's going for a walk because Robert Redford plays this straight-laced kind of I'd say snarky a little bit. You know, I don't think he's holier than thou, but a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. And then Nick Nolte, on the other hand, just life in shambles. You know, crazy guy. Always getting into trouble, always getting into mischief, always doing the wrong thing.
He's the lovable loser.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You hate to love him kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the story. And along the way they meet different people like Kristen Schaal. People know her from Last Man on Earth or the Flight of the Conchords or even Bob's Burgers.
Right.
And so they meet them. They meet younger guys, and that's kind of it. And so I mean we can jump in because I when we were in the theater, the first thing I noticed was that everyone around us was about 20 to 30 years older than us.
At least. It's the youngest I've felt in a long time.
Yeah, it was like a theater full of blue hairs.
Totally.
So I'm sitting there going like, oh man, like, you know, every once in a while there's a film that comes out like this, meant for my parents that I do like, you know.
Oh, you were laughing with him, don't lie.
Oh, we'll get there. But there's also a lot that I'm like, oh gosh, this is just not for me. I get it. You know, I'm not 75 years old. I don't know what happened when I walked in that theater, but somehow my inner Schaal and rocking chair came with me, and I was having a good time with it.
You aged 4 decades, right sitting next to me.
I think half my hair turned blue.
Yeah, I did not enjoy this film, and you seem to be having a really good time with it. To me, all the punches were telegraphed, and they had no muscle behind them.
Yeah.
Redford looked like every line he said looked like he had to be interrupted out of thinking of something else. And I don't mean the character, I mean the actor Robert Redford looked like he was thinking about something else before his lines. And Nolte was well cast, but you know, you have to suffer through the every 30 minutes moment of bum wisdom for me that I just got really tired of.
I don't know why I liked it, and a lot of people would be surprised that this film is actually rated R.
Yeah. And they use it.
Purely language.
Yeah.
Just language. Yeah. Because they use the F-bomb like
a lot.
Yeah. And so, but then I looked at that and I kind of thought, this is how 2 old guys would be on a trip.
Yeah.
You know, I would kind of envision my dad being there. And I'm like, that's exactly how my dad would talk.
Sure.
You know, like I don't want to be here. F this, F that. You know, screw those young kids. You know, for making me feel bad. And that's where I kind of enjoyed it. Like, you know, there was a great dynamic. I will say this. Some people may not know. Robert Redford's had this script since 1998.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be the 3rd film that he and Paul Newman starred in together because you had Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and you had The Sting. So this was going to be like kind of like their grown-up retirement project, you know? And it just never came to be, and obviously everybody knows that we lost Paul Newman in 2008, so they had to find somebody else to play Stephen Katz. And I will say this. I don't know how that movie would have been different with Paul Newman. It would have been obviously different. But Nick Nolte, I loved him in this movie.
He was well cast, as I said. I don't know that he had a great script to work with. And this movie didn't have any surprises in it. I mean, of course they're going to fall in the water, you know, and of course they're going to be sweating and huffing and puffing and say, how far have we been? 1/4 of a mile. Ha ha. I mean, there's not a lot of surprises in it, but he did a lot with a little.
Yeah.
I will agree with you.
A lot
on
with
that.
a little. I will say, it's not the most complicated story. Obviously, it's two guys walking in the woods.
Right.
I mean, that's it.
Right.
But two things. Well, it's corny. I'll say that it's absolutely corny. I'm never going to deny that.
With a capital K.
Yeah. That's even worse. The one thing that really, really bugged me in this movie, such an over use of green screen.
Yeah.
Where you could tell it's just them like on a treadmill and like a crappy green screen behind them, and they're just like, "Hi, Tom."
It does pull you out.
Oh, is it? And then along with that, every time there is like a helicopter shot, and it would circle around, and it's obviously, and they're like, I swear the two like stunt doubles are like hiding their face, so we can't tell that it's not Nick Nolte and Robert Redford walking.
Pretty much.
So it became. I always every once in a while think of a drinking game, and that's this one for this film because it's pretty out there.
Yeah. What did you think of the characters they met on the trail? I mean, I thought each one of them was like engineered to be some archetypal somebody that you see on a trail, like the know-it-all, the bros.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be for people in the audience who hike to go, oh yeah, I know that person.
I could see that
engineered for a reaction.
I will say I did really enjoy Kristen Schaal because Kristen Schaal has one of the best personas to be the most annoying person on earth.
Oh, she was annoying.
And I mean, you feel for these two guys like, oh god, I want to kill her. I want to kill her now.
Yeah.
So
that was a funny part of the movie. They tried to get away from her, and no matter how fast they walked, they couldn't. They're just too old.
I know you and I are completely different on ends on this one.
Totally.
Because I had a good time with it. It made me laugh more than I actually thought I would. And more than you guys even thought. What did our friend Brooks leaned over and said?
Well, he leans over to me and said, "When did Jimmy become 90?" And I said, "About an hour ago."
There we go. So
I was miserable. You had a good time.
Yeah,
that's it.
I was shocked, and when I get shocked, I get really excited, and so I'm at 3 stars.
Okay.
I know it's shocking. I know I'm probably in the minority, but that's okay. I'm okay with that.
I'm also at 3 stars -2. 1 star for me.
You're at 1?
Yeah, dude.
Oh
no.
Poor Robert Redford and Nick Nolte.
Well, he looked as bored as I was.
Oh well, so be it. Sometimes I get to act like I'm 65 years old.
Yep.
So that'll do it for A Walk in the Woods. Coming up next, we will be talking about Xfinity's video on-demand stuff. Good stuff. And then stay tuned because our summer review is coming up. How's the summer already over?
I can't believe it.
Gross. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep.
And this summer had some fun and some not fun, and you'll hear about both. Coming up, we'll be right back.